Hello! This is the One Episode Rule, podcast about first impressions. I am Magpie. Didn't think of a joke for this intro. So I'm just going to ask my co-hosts how they're doing and who they are.
I'm Blackle. I'm also tired. Got kind of that two-name thing going on. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I was gonna say hi, tired.
Hi, tired.
I'm Dad.
I'm Dad.
I am your father. Yeah, that's my thing this week.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been doing.
And being Blackle and being tired. Hi, I'm Joey, and I actually watched anime this week.
What did you watch?
I watched Beastars Season 2.
Cool.
I am not going to summarize all of the buck wild things that happened in Beastars Season 2, because most of them would be inaccessible to y'all anyways. I do need to bring one very important topic, and that is the fact...
How spoilery is it?
Oh, it's from, like, the first episode, so it's not. It's really not. They added a snake character.
Mm-hmm.
And I need you to know how they handle the snake character.
Mm.
Who wants to guess how they handle the snake character?
Legs and sex.
I have a guess.
Lazzle.
I have a guess.
What do you think?
They don't.
They simply don't. It's just a snake.
Oh my god.
I've seen the snake with the hat before.
I lost my mind when I saw that because I was like, wow, we just simply gave up, huh?
It's also great that she's, like, enormous.
Yes. She's the biggest snake I've ever seen.
Incredible.
And she's my favorite.
She's a fucking titanoboa.
Mm-hmm. She's a rattlesnake. Anyhow, that's all.
I'm looking at her and no, she's not. But anyway.
Yeah. That's all.
So, I also continued watching some anime. I'm up to like episode 12 of Jujutsu Kaisen. So and it's pretty good. I like it and recommend it. So
I want to watch more of it.
We need to. I think we need to create like an indicator of something that we like continued to watch, and that was like the right decision.
We need like a segment.
I was thinking like the like greater than stamp.
We should have a bonus episode called the One Episode Rule Hall of Fame.
The One Episode Rule retrospective.
The One Episode Rule all episodes. Actually,
I just think the more than one episode rule.
Yeah.
Would work there, but yeah, it's got the. I'm gonna give it that old greater than stamp of approval for this one. Nice. It was the correct decision to continue with this.
Very good.
What was that you guys watched and we all agreed that we should watch more of it?
We've
Dr. Ramune.
All right.
Dr. Ramune, which we haven't caught up with yet.
We have not.
We should make that a bonus episode.
I literally asked y'all to watch it with me, and no one responded, so I don't know.
When did that happen?
We totally responded. Anyway.
No. Not in here. Anyhow. News? Question mark?
Get to the news. First news thing. There's a lot of returning to the podcast news here. To celebrate the 5th anniversary of the Rent-A-Girlfriend manga, they set up a crowdfunding campaign to get a advertisement in the subway at Shibuya. This is only worth mentioning because it reached its goal of like 6 million yen within like 25 minutes.
My God. That's hilarious.
And then surpassed it immediately.
Lord. Good for them. Good for them.
They picked up like $62,000 US dollars in 25 minutes.
Oh my.
All right, moving on. This one has never been on the podcast, but it's worth mentioning. After 15 years, apparently Spice and Wolf is going to get a third anime adaptation. I don't know if this means they're
Yes.
continuing the story or they're starting fresh, but that's significant after 15 years.
Yeah, I know. I've seen people mentioning this.
I haven't seen Bison Wolf, so I guess I'll watch this when it comes out because I hear that it is beloved. Let's see, what else do we have? Ichigo Takano's manga Orange is set to release its first new book in 5 years. Apparently after the final volume.
What could they possibly be adding?
Which was also came out after the final volume because apparently the story was supposed to stop at 5.
What?
And then they got a 6th, and then 5 years later they're getting 7.
What?
So yeah.
I guess this is the year of bringing back stuff from the dead then.
And finally, in completely unhinged news, it looks like Paramount is planning to produce a live-action Beyblade movie produced by Jerry Bruckheimer.
Whoa!
We have almost no other details, but I don't believe the story requires them.
I mean, it's Beyblade. Let her rip.
I just want to start some really unhinged casting posts for Beyblade. Get Willem Dafoe in there somewhere.
Yeah, he was already in Death Note. Why not add him to this one?
Cast Michael Douglas as somebody.
Yeah.
So
I don't know anything about Beyblade, so I can't make jokes on it.
I don't know a goddamn thing. I know it's
me neither.
I know it's done with fucking tops that you pull a ripcord out of like a chainsaw.
Yeah, probably lots of kids lost fingers over those things. Who knows?
I know that the yellow ones have gold plastic syndrome and will explode if they make contact with another Beyblade.
Yeah.
But other than that, I know very little. Anyway, we should move on to our main event. Blackle, I believe I tasked you with choosing an anime.
Uh-huh. And I've done the old randomizer chooser machine. And I've already picked.
All right, which...
And the anime we're watching is called No Game, No Life.
No Game, No Life, huh?
Oh, okay. I
felt a chill go up my spine. I feel like somebody recommended this ironically at
some
point.
I'm a little alarmed, but
I guess we'll see.
We're gonna have.
Would you like to play a game? Oh man, who wants this blurb?
Jesus. I will take the blurb.
I got a blurb for thee.
Show me the blurb. No Game, No Life is a surreal comedy that follows Sora and Shiro, shut-in neat siblings, and the online gamer duo behind the legendary username Blank. They view the real world as just another lousy game. However, a strange email challenging them to a chess match changes everything. The brother and sister are plunged into an otherworldly realm where they meet Tet, the god of games. The mysterious god welcomes Sora and Shiro to Disboard.
Disboard!
Stop.
Discord.
I'll kill you both. A world where all forms of conflict, from petty squabbles to the fate of whole countries, are settled not through war, but by way of high-stake games. This system works thanks to the fundamental rule, wherein each party must wager something they deem to be of equal value to the other party's wager. In this strange land, where the very idea of humanity is reduced to child's play, the indifferent genius
God
gamer duo of Sora and Shiro have finally found a real reason to keep playing games. To unite the 16 races of Disboard, defeat Tet, and become the gods of this new gaming is everything world.
This is the Shadow Realm where you get sent if you lose in Yu-Gi-Oh!
That's so true.
God.
It is the Shadow Realm.
World if Yugi was Yugi was God. Nightmare place.
Yeah.
So
We haven't had an isekai in a while.
This is an interesting isekai too, but we'll get into this because I have a theory. I have a theory and a warning for the viewers out there.
I want to know why you think this is an interesting isekai, because I think it's interesting because I don't think it needed to be an isekai.
I'm not. I think that's interesting in a this is a bizarre sort of sense.
It's not your standard sword art fare is why I find it interesting. It has a little more substance to it than your typical get sucked into an MMO isekai. Anyway, let's get to the rundown first before we discuss our deep thoughts about this. So, Sora, Sora and his sister Shiro are they're shut-ins. They're just like they're like shut-in like filthy Smash player like recluses who just play online games all the time.
They play to the extent of controlling like 2 controllers each at a time.
They're controlling 4 characters in some sort of online like MMO style death match against a guild of like 1,200.
Yeah, Shiro is like playing with her feet when we first meet her.
Who cheat is the other thing. They beat these people who cheat. Now they're probably cheating too, but look at. So yeah, and yeah, they're staying up till 8 a.m. and hanging out in their dark ass room with their double mouses that Shiro controls with her feet. Yeah, so okay, let me give you a quick description of these characters. Sora looks like a anime teenager from a more realistic show. He's rendered in the show's overall art style, but yeah, he looks like a regular ass person, kind of a shit maybe. You can kind of tell from his character design, which is
he's got that kind of
nothing personality
sort of vibe.
Which is good character design, because he is kind of a shit.
Yeah, kind of. We'll get into that.
His little sister, though, is, I don't know how much littler, because she's like half his height, and she is like a character from like Dragon Maid. She has a huge head.
She's just got the sleepiest little
eyeballs. Her dub is also very
big,
bad.
Sparkly.
Yeah, we'll get into that too. I have thoughts.
Sora's dub is actually pretty okay. The actor was putting his ass into it.
But
but yeah, and also not enduring about Shiro is that we're introduced first to her Vaganya, pretty much.
That wasn't good.
Yeah, they just.
So, which I'll tackle in.
That's when I hit the
warning.
You're just like, this.
There wasn't that much to speed through after that too. They tricked you, but anyway, so they wrap up their gaming session and they're pretty burnt out. Sora wants to keep going, but Shiro's about to pass the fuck out when they get an email from a mysterious source that says, "Don't you 2 siblings? What do they
feel like you were born in the wrong world?"
Feel like you were born in the wrong world with a link, and they click on the link and it takes them to chess. Just a regular chess program that it almost looks like chess.com. I think they've all used the same fucking UI for chess games for like 30 years.
Don't broke what
I remember seeing that UI on fucking like ancient ass like just after Apple II computers.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure I had one that looked exactly like that in the 90s. Like
Like, I'm familiar with it. Black'll trounce
Oh,
me
yeah.
in chess
We should
in a
play
UI
that
similar
again
to that.
sometime.
Mm-hmm.
It would.
No.
No, I don't want to blow out any more of the veins in my forehead. But so they play it, and it's a slog because it's obviously they're not obviously not playing against an AI because the AI is making amateur plays designed to be traps.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a slog. They don't really say, but it looks like it takes a couple of hours to resolve this game.
Yeah. They do eventually win, though.
They do eventually win. And when they win, they get another email from the excited person on the other side who's just like, what do you think of your world? Do you think it's fun to live in? And are you having a good life? And they're just like, well, obviously not. We're like fucked up shut-ins, and the world outside doesn't make any sense because we think about it entirely in terms of games.
Yeah.
And the rules aren't consistent and blah blah blah. And he says, okay. How about I move
I'm
you?
going to pluck you.
And then arms just come out of their computer and grab them.
The sequence is pretty cool because it just peels away their
Turns
filthy,
into,
dark little apartment.
Mm-hmm. And then they're just falling from the sky.
They're falling from the sky with delirium from the Sandman, and he explains that he is Tet, the god of play, and this is the world he made, where everything is resolved through games. And I have to explain to you my 10 commandments while we hurtle towards the earth.
Yes.
God, right?
So...
Oh my god, that was insufferable.
Well, when faced with the god of games, what would you expect?
Yeah.
I would expect them to be insufferable.
Uh-huh.
I would expect
That's
them
true.
to have fucking Griffin McElroy's fancy boy voice. So, the god of games and japes.
I want to play a
I'm the god
game.
of games. Let us have a game together.
They get explained the rules, and the rules I'm gonna paraphrase them, but basically there's 10 of them, and it's just like, hey, you can't murder people or steal things. All conflict must be resolved with games. Games must have equal wagers, so you must agree upon the value of your wagers. And
if you get caught cheating, you lose.
if you get cheating, you just lose. Which is interesting because you don't get like turned inside out or something.
No.
Yeah, you don't get like your like
and also
spine
it's
removed instantaneously.
Well, unless that
you
was
have to be
mistakes.
caught
You can
too.
cheat.
So like if you cheat and get away with it, you're golden. You're fine.
Fine.
I can't really contain myself. This feels like this whole show was written after somebody watched the episodes of JoJo where they go against the
Right.
Darby brothers.
Right? I was thinking that too. I was like, oh, okay, we got some JoJo shit going
Specifically Card Darby, the first one.
Yeah.
Open the game. I will say, even if I'm not so sure about this show, I sympathize. That was a great fucking episode.
It was a good one.
So yeah, he saves them before they splatter on the ground because he would be violating his own rule about murder.
Yeah.
They just
Imagine
died.
if they just
And
died.
they're just like,
That'd be so funny.
He's
They just
He's
die
like,
there.
oops.
It's like, ah, shit. And then it turns out this is not even like this is not what the show's about. It's just a show about like this bumbling,
this
like,
god who's
game god who can't get his world to work.
That might be a better show, actually.
too insane to make it work. He's just like, ah, shit, I should have started him higher.
He's
So
trying.
I'd have
Keep
time
killing
to
them.
explain to the premise.
Okay, let's try again.
Let's get some more.
Let's get some more.
And he just moves the skeletons. But so yeah, after they land, they learn from some bandits that everything he said was true. Also, they steal their clothes because they beat the shit out of them in what appears to be a dice or card game.
Yeah.
So they wander on into town. They take it in stride. Like they don't stand around
They
screaming.
mosey on in.
What's happening in town? Oh, there's a tavern. there's a poker tournament going on right now to determine who's going to be king next of humanity.
Yeah.
Just the whole species, it appears. They get filled in on this by a local card sharp who isn't participating because they just want money. So he says, "Hey, that looks like a lot of money. I bet myself and my sister against you that we win." And they play themselves a quick hand of poker, in which both of them cheat.
Yep.
But he doesn't. But he cheats better.
He cheats better.
I hate that they didn't even tell us how they
Well,
cheated.
it showed you how she cheated, which is clever sleight of hand tricks, which you may have not picked up on because you watched it at 2x speed.
I did. I saw that. I saw that weird move that she made. But I'm just disappointed they like, you know how like
he just pulled it out of his ass.
They will sometimes have like a like a sort of like flashback is like, oh yeah, but we did this or whatever.
It's not going to tell you how he cheated.
They didn't need that in this. I didn't even care to see it.
So yeah, he wins the money, does some negotiating to find out the value of currency at the inn, and gets them a 4-night stay, and also informs the person competing against the top pick for the tournament for kingship that their opponent is cheating.
Mm-hmm.
And retires to bed to think about their circumstances and charge all of their handheld electronics.
Yeah.
I guess they don't get internet.
They don't get internet.
Basically, this world is useless.
But they did bring. They did bring a solar charger. So that's they bothered to answer that question.
What's the point if there's no internet? Basically,
they probably have like Flappy Bird on their phone. That's got to be worth something.
They can take pictures.
Yeah.
I suppose.
That's like I watched this one movie. I think it was the sequel, the 2010 sequel to The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, like the live action series. And she goes back in time and she has her phone and she's like, "Oh yeah, I don't have like connection for obvious reasons, but look, I'm from the future. Look at this phone." And the guy picks up the phone, looks at it, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, you're from the future."
This looks like you're from the future.
Yep.
I believe.
Yeah, you definitely
this
are.
This is pretty future core.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's basically it. You know, there's that after credit scene where that girl shows up, half dressed, and is just like, "Can I come in?"
She shows up, titties out.
God, that's like, you know how like Sword Art Online has that secret like chapter.
Yeah.
It's like they jumped right into it. It's
Blackle, have you read that chapter?
Yes, I have. I remember. We read it? We all read it together in the Skype chat times. Remember?
I don't think this is comparable. That thing is that thing is hazardous waste.
Don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Anyway, we should get to our opinion. So I mentioned that I had a warning, which is I suspect that this show is trash. But the problem is that aside from some early impropriety, it's not immediately apparent that it's trash. It could be questionable, but I really think it's going to dive off the deep end.
I think so too.
And it would surprise the inattentive viewer.
Well, the website that we watched this on did give us a warning, very specifically, that was like 17 plus. Don't click through if you can't handle mature content. And I was like, uh-oh. But then the episode was like, for what the warning was, it was like kind of tame.
It was really,
I would almost say
it was really tame, and honestly, amongst many of the anime here, it wasn't even that bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad. The voice acting was a little in some places, but
like, I was almost like disappointed because like you're gonna give us like this boring ass first episode and not even like deliver on that mature content warning. Like, if I have to watch this trash,
at least show me somebody's ass.
At least show me a boob. Come on.
My thought was that I didn't like the protagonists. I didn't like.
No, the protagonists are some of the most miserable protagonists we've had in a while. That's
Which
saying
is, like,
something.
I'm okay with having an awful protagonist,
There's
right?
something to be
But
said
I
for-
want to see them lose.
Yeah, there's something to be said
I
for having a
also want
bastard
to see them
protagonist.
lose.
And you don't even necessarily have to see them lose. They just have to be interesting.
Yeah, they're not.
Like,
These guys are just kind of shits. But
they're like, they have such high, like, confidence, and, like, they win everything, right? But, like, it would have been great if they're like, oh yeah, we keep winning, and then, like, this is the first time they lose. in
Yeah,
this
they go
episode,
into
and,
this world and they're like the bottom of the food chain. That would
Yeah.
be at least a little more interesting. Like,
Yeah.
well,
humble these bitches, please.
well, that's
Yeah.
contrary to the like isekai instinct, which is about fucking
Yeah.
power fantasy. See our
Sure.
Puretta and how fucked up it is.
Like,
like-
wouldn't it be incredible if they lost that first game with that woman, and they're like, oh shit, now we're like,
Oh,
your slaves,
God, we're
basically.
slaves.
Oh god, what do we do now?
I'm more interested really in this show because I'm not interested in this show. Although I'll give it credit, it doesn't sit you down and lecture at you for 10 minutes at a time. Things happen, but games
Kind of.
occur.
They
But-
do give us like at least 3 like expository blurbs, and I was just kind of like over it, so I don't know about that.
Listen, I've seen a lot of isekai, and that knob is turned down in this one. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Did y'all notice, what's her name? Sora? Wait, is Sora the guy or the girl?
Sora's the guy,
Shiro.
Shiro's the girl.
Shiro asks her brother, can you beat real magic? And her eye goes full fucking Sans Undertale. Did anyone else notice that?
Oh, that wasn't her eye. That was the lady
Oh.
they saw in the bar earlier, who was I think was helping
Helping
the other
cheat,
person cheat.
yeah.
I see.
I think she was cheating through like telepathy or something.
Right,
Something
or like,
like that.
fucking,
Who
like,
knows?
Which prompted the
whatever
question.
the Ramune dude was using
Yeah,
from the last anime.
using his
Yeah.
funny little charms.
His magic eye.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was I saying? What was I saying? Oh yeah, the more interesting thing about this is just the implications of its world, which is the only crimes explicitly like counterindicated by God are theft and murder. There's a lot more crimes than that.
God.
It's true.
You think, how rampant do you think MLMs are in this universe?
Oh God.
Oh God.
Just
I don't
fraud,
even-
just rampant fraud. Or like, what if here's the deal? It's just like, hey, I'll let you go if you beat me at a game, and the game is we hit each other with sticks, and whoever gives up first loses.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And
They
I
don't say.
and I
what
pick up
the
my
rules
tree
are.
branch.
Yeah. The other thought is,
What-
like,
okay,
what
wh-
counts as thievery, right? Because it could. I'm just okay. This is a nightmare thought which I have, which is like episode 5, and they're like, "Why don't you tax the people if you need to like improve the state?" And they're like, "We can't do that. Taxation is theft, and that's
Taxation
against the
is
10 rules."
God,
Here's a
Ancap God.
here's a question: is can you grift someone by like getting them to agree to play a game with you,
Hmm.
and then you get to decide the game? So what if you can just say, okay, here's the rules of the game. Your name has to start with a J. I automatically win
Or
because your names don't start with a J.
Yeah, like obviously,
Like, can you just do that?
you could do that to fools, I'm sure, but some people would just be like, I'm not agreeing to those terms. What are you talking about?
how many
Well,
people?
no.
How many people do you think have been like grifted out of house and home by saying heads I win, tails you lose?
Right.
Like,
Like,
there's so many schemes you could do. Hey, challenge somebody to a card game for their property or whatever, and just be like, and while you're doing that, you just have your goons roll a boulder down the hill to knock their fucking house over. And you
yeah.
just be like, are you sure you don't want to sell the land?
Uh-huh. I can't deal with this show.
Yeah.
This show is absolutely demented. I couldn't deal with the fucking characters just every 5 minutes being like, our world is shit and everything is shit, and I'm just like, can you calm down?
Yeah.
Well, they only really did that at the beginning and at the end.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle, they were just like, oh, we got this other world to look at. Let's not go back to the old world. It's shit. And everybody in the old world said, good fucking riddance.
Yeah.
Their complaints were that the world isn't a game, and I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of why it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Actually.
Yeah. These people are miserable. I didn't like them.
You're whiny bitches, and I hate you.
So,
I despise you.
It seems like we're in sort of agreement that the show's not great.
I'm not like immediately hostile to the show, but I'm sure if I watched more of it, I would become so.
You didn't get angry.
It is simply not tested my patience yet.
Yeah, it was okay. I will say it was kind of. To me, it was kind of boring. Because I feel like they could have done crazier stuff in the first episode.
Yeah.
What if, I got a hypothetical for you.
Sure.
You, as Kaiji fan, what if they started getting into some fucking Ultimate Survivor bullshit over time?
See, okay, but I don't think that they're going to.
Oh yeah, but what if, was the question.
Also, I don't... Ultimate Survivor had, like, different... Like, a whole different feel. For one, Kaiji was more sympathetic than these characters.
Yeah. Which is quite something, because Kaiji is, like, at the beginning, is just like a pathetic sack of shit.
Yeah, but
he's a sad boy, but, like, he's being preyed upon in a certain way that kind of makes you feel sorry for him. I could go into my feelings on Kaiji, that's not this episode.
The main motivating factor for him getting pulled in this world was that he, like, helped his friend out. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, he signed on as, like, a guarantor for someone's, like, lease or something like that. And that's, like, a nice thing to do, so he got preyed on for that reason.
He's a good boy.
Yes, and also, like, specifically, he's... like, in bad positions because, the time that it is set in is, like, a depression and he can't get, like, a job, and, like, there's a lot of that kind of theming in Kaiji, whereas this is just, like, a power fantasy of, we're perfect gamers, and we're going to take over this world.
We're perfect and I'm just gamers, and the real world doesn't reward our skill set.
I feel like a Kaiji scholar when I quoted his history there.
Yes. I am so proud of you.
Also, Magpie, that was kind of a dangerous question you asked, because you were basically like, would you like the show if it was good?
Would you like the show if it was a different show?
Would you like this show if it was completely different, actually?
Well, I can't say that they won't do crazy shit like that. I just strongly suspect they won't.
I strongly suspect they won't. And also, like I said, it's just a completely different feel, so I don't think that
I was curious about what kind of people like this show. So I went on IMDb Reviews, because that's a normal place to go.
Yeah, reputable.
It has surprisingly 14,000 people has rated it, not reviewed it, but 14,000 people went to IMDb to give this a rating, which is kind of remarkable to me. Anyway. I think a telling review is this, which is 9 out of 10 stars, which says, unusual and enjoyable isekai/fantasy that flirts with other genres. Okay. Seems like a valid critique or statement, but this is the first paragraph. Besides a nice twist on the typical Another World genre, it flirts with several others in an entertaining way, and this is the list of genres. Parody, ecchi, forbidden relationships, harem, etc.
Oh no!
Yeah, I knew that the forbidden relationships thing was going to pop up, because I was like, this is a little incesty in some places.
No, we got to get out of here. The building's on fire.
There's asbestos.
By the
Fear.
Some other stats for you. On my anime list, this show is scored an 8.12, which is
so wild.
Pretty good review. And also, I don't know if I'm reading this right, but it seems to be rated the 15th most popular anime on my anime list,
I'm so
What?
afraid.
which is a
Oh,
high number.
that's extreme.
I'll
What could
I'll-
possibly be in this that
It
makes
just
this
becomes
more?
totally just
I mean, I
becomes
guess-
full on porn like at the second episode. Just
Maybe it could. It might.
That could be it. I have posted the my anime list page for
Uh-huh.
the others to verify.
Yeah.
uh,
Okay. So I guess that some more stuff might happen in this. But we're the one episode rule, and for me, the first episode didn't really compel. And again, I can
didn't
agree with
ignite.
y'all that it's not bottom of the barrel as far as isekai go, at least for the first episode. But it was just kind of a boring first episode, is what I'll say.
It's not immediately offensive to me, but I am suspicious of it. So
Yeah.
I'm not It ranks higher than Naruto
It ranks
Shippuden,
higher
and that's
than
fucked up.
Naruto Shippuden. I hate that.
popularity.
I may have to watch another episode just to figure out what the fuck is happening here, but we're not going to talk about that today.
Yeah. Can we talk
Anyway,
about?
Go ahead.
I have to say that I kind of liked some of the art direction that they took.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Like the background.
Like I liked the colored line art.
Colored line art's nice. The environments are
They did
interesting.
like some very vibrant color stuff that I thought was actually quite pretty.
I can agree with that. It was quite pretty, the anime.
Big chess
And,
pieces.
Yeah, giant chess pieces.
The character designs were hit or miss, I guess, but generally okay.
I like the fact that they dropped into a fucking Sonic level
Yes,
to begin with.
I did like that too.
It did
but
feel
anyway,
like somebody spent 500 consecutive hours painting minis, and then someone came in and just went yeah, and then they fight and they bang the minis together, and that's the story.
Yeah, and I guess I could see how people could be interested in this for the mature content aspect, because
Titties
the art,
always
like I
brings
said-
in a crowd.
the art is fine. The designs are fine. They got a lot of big titty
Yeah.
characters in there.
Anyway, if you'd like to make a wager against us, you can do that at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
That is the word, not the number. If you would prefer to tweet us about kaiji,
Please do.
Please
This
do
is the
that.
first time. This is the
Have you
first
Actually,
time we've said
This is the first
something.
time that I'm going to say that this is something you should actually do. Please talk to me about kaiji. Me specifically, I need someone to talk to about it. We're on
Any,
Twitter at OneEpisodeCast.
Any wagers will have to be of equal value to our time, though.
Yeah.
We value that quite highly. We spend it playing things like Danger Mahjong, a game I
Yeah.
invented in a different chat last night.
Come play rock, paper, scissors with us.
It's just Mahjong, but the tiles are made out of metal and they're sharp.
Yes.
And nobody knows,
They-
and neither of us knows how to play Mahjong.
They should pull kaiji into this world. He would have a miserable time.
That would be incredible. That's a much better series.
He just immediately loses, but then works his way up.
Exactly, and I can watch it with my non-anime friends, and then I
Yeah.
won't have to explain what a fucking brother
Yeah.
complex is to them.
Stop.
I like Kaiji because it's Ultimate Survivor. It's not Ultimate Winner.
Yeah, it's not
Doesn't
wins
die.
every time.
Yeah,
All
he's
the time.
fighting for his life every single episode.
I want to see this show, but I want it to be Kaiji and fucking old Joseph Joestar,
Yes, correct.
and maybe Jotaro, but only if he
Locked
doesn't
in
have his
miserable
stance,
mind combat.
because he'll just solve problems.
Can't
We'll take-
believe we've fixed this show.
He'll take all the conflict out of the
Yeah,
story.
all right,
Anyway, we
see
gotta
ya.
get the hell out of here. Goodbye.
Gotta go. Take care, everyone.